my name is Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. This video is not about Doctor Who, but if you like Doctor Who, I think it's a sci-fi video. Yeah, both my stuff is genre sci-fi, geeky stuff. You probably like Doctor Who. If you like Doctor Who, I'm giving this away. Sunday night on the TARDIS Zone. This is Doctor Who's the complete full season with David Tennant, Catherine Tate. Fantastic season of TV. All you need to do to win it is leave the subscribe to the channel. That's the important bit. I keep forgetting to say that. That's the really important bit for me. Subscribe to the channel and leave the hashtag adipose. The instructions will be in the video notes. And good luck. I'm doing DVD giveaways for the next month or so while this current season of Doctor Who is running, which I really am not enjoying at all. But that's another story. Something I am enjoying, something I'm enjoying a lot, is Lost in Space Season 2. Like, you know, it's taken me so long to watch. It came out, a month ago? I'm on episode 5. I'm just not a binge watcher. My wife started watching, I think, Grey's Anatomy a week ago. And she's on, like, season 7 or 8 by now. I'm like, I don't know how, like, time and space bends that she can get that many episodes in. Anyway, so this episode 5 of Lost in Space, episode 5 is called Run, and I freaking love this episode. It's, I think, probably my favourite episode of this revival Lost in Space, which I've been enjoying in general. But this is the first time I haven't needed that Lost in Space music to get me like, da, 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 da. I hadn't needed that to get me into it. So, yeah, what I really love about it, this episode is, I was going to say what I love about it. What I love about it, it's well crafted. It's well done. It drags you in. It has emotional resonance. And it has a really gripping plot, which pulls you along. But it's the emotional resonance of it that really works for me. So this is about John Robertson and Judy Robinson and their relationship together. And so look, I'm a big softie. So I have four kids. This kind of mirrors the episode. This kind of mirrors my relationship with my youngest daughter. She's 19 now. She's not so young, but yeah, she's freaking a carbon copy of me. I like she's. Wherever she goes, she like takes up the room. She has a very big personality. Me too. So we just. I mean, I'm close to all my kids, obviously, but we're just pretty close because we do the same naughty things. So this episode really, really resonated with me, and it pulled me on that emotional journey. So we start off, and we have the first of, I think, 5 or 6 flashback sequences with between John and Judy. And so, obviously John's not her biological father. His skin color is different to hers, and so matches the skin color of his wife. So clearly, it's not another. So I don't think it was explained in the series what happened to her father. How this blended family came to be together. So this was really, really, really touching. It's Judy when she was young giving a presentation on her hero. Which is her natural father, who apparently died before she was born. I think that's right. She died before she was born, and he was a pilot, I think, and he was saying, like everything about him. But the really beautiful bit about it was this was a project that she had clearly created with John, her adoptive father, and he was coaching her through it, which was like, again, I just been there, it was so. It's so real to me, and then okay, again, it got me right in the heart. The old big softy thing where she pulls out a second sheet of a presentation, which she didn't know, which is about her second hero, which was John, and it was just so sweet, and I loved it. So that set up this like incredibly intense bond, which I think drove the episode. So then we come back to present day. We had where we are in the series now, the season now that they've made landfall with the other colonists on this planet isn't really working for them because they're trapped. They need the robot to be able to go anywhere, and that's a whole other. We'll get there. So John was down a mine shaft, and because there's this weird corrosive agent that nobody really knew about affecting everything, it caused the mine to collapse. And so John's holding on to like the some metal straps, which also get affected by the the corrosion agent, and the thing he's standing on collapses, and he falls to the bottom of the shaft, piercing his abdomen and like in a girder, like that. So he's not doing so good. Judy's had like a little bit of a problem with the main doctor with the group. He said, like, what the hell are you doing? You're just like, you're a kid, you're a resident, you just do what you're told, But now she seems like they had a couple of glances, and the doctor kind of respects her and her work. And so then she, so basically, like her internship is over. Now she's now everybody likes her. Don, the pilot, is investigating the corrosive thing, and it's like it's more of an infection. They find it like it transfers upon touch. So then they realize they got to ground all the vehicles, right, and including the chariots and the chariots and the Jupiters. Oh yeah, the spaceships. Because of all the because they don't want it to spread. Fine. Judy gets a call from her father that he's down the well, and she realizes that she's got to get to him. He's got like a few hours to live, probably. So she gets permission to take one of the chariots, even though it's just been grounded. Say, look, we have to get there. He's going to die. So she's going. That's that run, that journey, that mission is what drives this episode, and the fuel for it is the relationship between Judy and John, we go much more into their relationship, which all it really just works to keep pushing it. It kind of reminds me of the movie, what's it called again? The Prestige, which is about. It's a very good movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. It's about turn of the century magicians from like the 18th century, and there's this one magician who was these two magicians, Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, and they watch this old Chinese magician do this incredible trick. And he's like all lame and bent over, and then they see him like going into like getting into his carriage, and he's walking, he's all lame, he's slow, and one of them says, you know what? The trick isn't the trick that we saw on the stage, because this is the trick, him being all lame and bent over. That's where he's pretending, and he's really like very able-bodied. That's how he's able to like help do the sleight of hand. So it's the same thing here. The trick here isn't her active running, which is actually very well executed. It's the emotional resonance that drives the urgency of it, and it builds up and builds up, and it gives you a fantastic character study. Fine. So okay. So next, the other plot lines we have going on, which are definitely the B and C plot. Is the C plot is we get like two scenes with Will and Maureen and the creepy scientist bloke, robot scientist bloke, and they're going on a Jupiter down to get the robot that Will's had a vision and found him, and the guy. the creepy the robot scientist bloke gets creepier. It's like, what was that episode of The Simpsons? I think it's the one with Mel Gibson, maybe, where they're making a movie in The Simpsons, and they say, Homer says, well, you can establish that he's a bad guy. Just look at his eyes and go, and that's kind of the same thing they do here. They like make him look so freaking creepy. So obviously there's some bad stuff. This guy is now not a good guy. He's going to turn out to be a bad guy. So that's the C plot. The B plot is Dr. Zoe Smith, as she now calls herself, is given her office. She's completely stolen the identity, and she's changed all the records, and like she's put the one guy who might know that she's lying into a coma, and so he's in suspended animation. And the only person who really knows is Penny, and so Penny wants to expose her. So this is going to be a battle of wits between Dr. Smith and Penny. Penny, darling, you don't stand a chance. Dr. Smith, she is freaking smart. Just like, okay, here's the way to deal with people who you think may be psychopathic, and you will greet them in your life. Here's the way to deal with them. Don't always be friendly, always be nice, and try and make your best interest into their best interest, because that's the best way for somebody to use the power of being a complete psychopath in your favor. I would wholeheartedly recommend that. Fine. So back on the planet, the chariot's going, and the front axle breaks because of the corrosion. great, fantastic crash sequence. It was really, really well. And in general, I say the cinematography is just great for this series. I was going to say for this episode where you got all this like alien planet vistas, but also the other episodes when they're on the water planet and no, they're on the planet stranding on the beginning, and when they had to sail across the planet. Just the cinematography really, really is breathtakingly good and far too good for a TV show. Yeah, that is what the new age of streaming the streaming wars abroad are. Just really high quality TV. So then we go back to the next John and Judy flashback, and she's learning to ride a bike, and she's finding it difficult. And we get she gets a lesson from John. Said, listen, a lot of things come easy to you. Sometimes they won't, and that doesn't mean you should quit. And oh my God, what a great lesson! That is a problem I think we have with the age we live in is that people are just weak. People are like, well, that's hard, forget it, and give up. No, yeah, and that lesson of like needing fortitude and to being push yourself and not giving up no matter what. That's just such a fantastic message for anyone to take to their everyday lives. Yeah, listen, don't do it, when you're making like a cheese sandwich. But like when the chips are down, you got to do something. Just know you got to do it and don't quit. And die trying. I'm totally enthused by that message. Because again, this is one of the reasons I just love this episode. So we come back from that flashback, and Judy realizes that she's got to run like the 20 odd miles to get to her father, which is pretty much impossible. But she's got to do it anyway, which again I just freaking love. Okay, back to the B plot, and Penny's going to school, and she meets the boy from the first episode who she had her first kiss with, I think Peter, and then she ropes her into going on like a Nancy Drew mystery to try and catch Dr. Smith. Yeah, you can need to be lucky. Then we get another flashback. And it's cutting into we see John and Judy running together. Look, the truth is, I think there's this one look in it which I really, really relate to. When you're raising kids, you're not raising the child. Okay, you're not trying to make that person. That's what you do in the moment. What you're trying to do is create the adult that they will be. And that's I think that is the thing you need to keep in your head all the time via parenting. Like, who is the adult I want this person to be? I want them to be the best person best version of themselves that they can be. And like in the moment you get angry and you get things like but like generally speaking, you have that as in the back of your mind. You're hopefully going to be be successful with your kids and have a good relationship with them. So there's this look in it where they're running together and Judy runs off, and you can see this look, and he really said, who was it? I can't remember the name of the actor. What's he called again? He was from Black Sails. Big Finish, who do audio production. They were going to do a series of James Bond with Toby Stevens with this guy. Toby, and I think he would have been great. I think he'd actually be a pretty good Bond as well. But still, I still want Loki. John Hickleton, is it? Hickleton? I can't remember. That's who I want to be in this one. But that's a video for another time. Fine. So there's this. He sells this look where she runs off, and he sees her becoming the person that she can be, and you can just see like how he's humbled by it. And again, oh my God, there's just so many great moments in this episode, like real emotional moments that I like, of like real genuine emotion. So then we have Judy's running, and she realizes that if she goes outside the perimeter fence, she can get a shortcut and get to her father quicker. So that's what she does. So then we have Penny and Peter on their mission to catch Smith, and they go looking in the like the trash of what's it called again of the Resolute. To find evidence against her, they cut out a class. Then cut to Judy's running, and she's running through open territory, and there's another fantastic sequence when she's being chased by a whole bunch of these like alien monsters. They kind of look like a cross between a T-Rex and a Velociraptor. They're kind of small, they're like big Velociraptor size, but more T-Rexy, a little bit alien. But again, fantastic sequence, just a fantastic kinetic sequence. But again, you got this emotional drive through it because it's so important that she gets like this relationship. It's so freaking important. It's wonderful. Fine. So and then we get another flashback of her going off camping and John saying, just expect the unexpected, be prepared for anything. It's like, I'm just going on a camping trip, and you can see those. The clever thing is those lessons then play into the narrative on in the present, which is just great. Again, have I mentioned I like this episode? Because I like this episode. Then so then we have was it Peter and Penny? They're looking for evidence, and they talk about the kiss. And it turns out each one was each other's first kiss. Clearly, relationship kicking off. That I'm sure that's going to blossom over the next 5 episodes. Then in the garbage bag, Penny finds a torn up note which sees the word "killed" on it, and she says, "Ah!" And I don't know why she just assumed this is going to be the smoking gun to get Dr. Smith. Not so much, but then she gets a foot caught, and the trash compactor sequence from Star Wars. They just kind of just play that bit. They turn where the trash is into the trash compactor. She's caught, she can't get out. Peter runs out and she thinks she's deserting her, but obviously he wasn't, and he's just running out to turn off the trash compactor. By the way, there are spoilers in this review, but again, it's a month old. So I'm 2 months old now. So is it a month? No, it's a month old. So then we get another look at the Will Maureen plot, and they're flying down to the planet, and the creepy robot guy gets to be creepy robot-y again, by mentioning that she knows that Will didn't pass his the colonist, whatever it is, test to get on the ship, which they've really made him kind of super smart and everything in every other way. So but I don't understand how he failed. Then we get another flashback of where after John's returning to the family after a period of estrangement, and there's this lingering resentment going on, and then it cuts to John, who's literally dying at this point. He's fading fast, and he's talking to Judy, and he's basically saying goodbye to her, and it's just, oh my god, it just ripped my heart apart. Because actually I had somebody who a friend of mine who nearly died from this disease a few years ago, and he was saying, one point you got to a point where you just accept you're going to die, and you got to say goodbye to the world. You got to say goodbye to the world, and so emotionally, he had to say goodbye to his wife. He had to say goodbye to each one of his children. And again, this was just for him to be able to survive. By the way, it was a complete miracle this guy survived. But I could see that's where this character was at this point. And then Judy gives him I think the best pep talk ever, saying, "Look, you can't die. You have to stay alive. You have to, because the family's going to fall. This is what she goes through. What's going to happen to each person, and what would happen to her? She would hate him if he died. She would hate him if he gives up and dies. So he's holding on, and it pushes him to survive. And which I truly believe that is how that's how we both live and die. My father passed away. It's his. We call it a yacht site. It's the second anniversary of his passing tonight. And he really didn't want to die. His body was just completely falling apart. But he held on, because he just really didn't want to. And eventually, I think what eventually made him pass away, which I think happens to most people, is in hospice they give you morphine for the pain. You just get so much morphine that you're too out of it to be able to fight to survive, to fight to live. I think I would say it's probably for the best because it saved him a lot of suffering because his body was falling apart. But that was really the point of the thing. The thing that he fought to survive, and so Judy gets there. She runs there just in the nick of time, and she gets him the medication. Wow, it's been a 20-minute review. That's how much I like this episode. You can always tell if I like this. That's how much I like this episode. And of course, he's survived. He's pulled out. Everything's good. Then we wrap up the Dr. Smith storyline, and where Dr. Smith is she sees a note, and the note is Dr. Smith trapped her together. It said, "Curiosity killed the cat." And Dr. Smith is listen, everything says I'm Dr. Smith now. You're gonna seem crazy. Don't do that. Don't make yourself seem crazy. And you know what? I can't really argue with her. Like, listen. I'm biased because I really, really like this character. I love how they're writing. I like Parker Posey how she's playing her. I really, really, really enjoy it. And the episode wraps up with the Willem, Maureen, and creepy robot scientist guy heading to the planet with the robot. And he says, "Oh, that planet you're stranded on with all the electric system and the glyphs and everything. Yeah, same thing over here. This is obviously made by the people who made the robot." And Will says, "Well, if we find the robot, we can ask him what it all means." And they head down the line in another spectacular piece of cinematography. Just really, really good. I really hope the next episode is engaging this one. This one, just fantastic. I had a score system. I'll give this one a good 9 out of 10. This is I think the best hour of Lost in Space I've seen of the 15 hours that I've seen thus far. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to win that DVD set, don't forget the hashtag ideas, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you can hit that like button. I don't know why that helps me, but I guess it does. I mean, it's always nice to hear people like you. I can't argue with that. So my name is Sheila Beckett, the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, subscribe, and have yourself a truly fantastic day.